Welcome to Swan's Japanese Horror Reviews, Episode 3. This time we're covering Dark Water. This is another collaboration between director Hideo Nakata and writer Koji Suzuki. They previously had the collaboration on The Ring, and this is the follow-up from 2001, based on one of Suzuki's short stories. Dark Water's story is about a lady named Yoshimi, and she is in a custody battle for her daughter, Ikuko. And so there's this bitter divorce with her husband, and then she goes to live in a new apartment building, and this is where the trouble starts. Because as soon as she gets a new apartment, there's a strange stain on the ceiling, and it's leaking this weird water into their ceiling, and when they go to get a drink, weird stuff's coming out of the faucet. What I really like about Dark Water is that it's not just about a ghost story or a horror story, but instead there's a lot of real world issues that really brings the fear out. There's the fear of losing a child, there's the fear and tension of a custody battle, there's the child going to a new school, having to make new friends. So I think what the director did was play on a lot of these experiences that people have either gone through or know others that have gone through, and it really works well to establishing a creepy atmosphere because it's all set against this creepy apartment complex with like a guy who works there who doesn't seem on the level, so it's a very, very recommended movie. As seen in The Ring with Asakawa Reiko and her son, and in the Ju-On series with the boy Toshio and what happened with his family, this is another movie that has to deal with a parent and a child, particularly a mother and child in this one. So it's got a very nice emotional appeal to it, and it's definitely worth checking out. The DVD was released by ADV Films. They're primarily known for releasing anime in the Region 1 market, and you know, it was a pretty cheap DVD, but it's pretty lacking in the extras department. There is an English dub, however, so for fans of English dubs, it's there. I don't know, I would just recommend the Japanese voice track. It's definitely creepier that way. Dark Water is a very unsettling film, and that it kind of builds and builds and builds with the creepiness, and you're wondering, you know, why is there a leak on the ceiling, or what's happening, and the leak is getting bigger and bigger, and who lives above there, and the mystery. So it's a very good story. I watched it with a few friends a few years back, and everybody was creeped out, so definitely recommend it. There's also the American remake, but I saw it. It was one of the few times I've actually seen an American remake of Japanese horror, and it was okay, but they took out a lot of the scariest scenes from the Japanese original. The hide-and-seek scene, the water tower scene, definitely some very creepy parts that sadly didn't make the jump to the English release. So yeah, Dark Water is another classic Japanese horror that fans should check out for a Region 1 release. The original short story that this was based on has also been translated, as well as the comics that are based off this, so there's enough Dark Water out there to keep everyone satisfied. Thanks for joining us for Episode 3 of Swan's Japanese Horror Reviews. See you next time. So much dark water. But who could be behind it all? Psyduck.